I must say I was greatly inspired when I learnt of the upcoming Jewish Anti-Zionist Congress in Vienna in June. It's vital that anti-Zionist Jews stand by the Palestinian people. It's vital that anti-Zionist Jews liberate Judaism from Zionism. I saw this and learnt about this when I joined the struggle against apartheid, racism and capitalism supported by imperialism in South Africa of my youth, from 1960 with the Sharpeville massacre, and the parallels with Jews standing by Palestinians and for Palestinians and being involved with the struggle for the Palestinian rights to their homeland, their inalienable rights, reminded me so much of what I discovered and learnt in the struggle against white colonization in South Africa. Very, very similar aspects. One of which is that when the few whites stood up with black people in South Africa against apartheid, it proved to be a qualitative action because it exposed the lies and the mythology of racism, that all whites would stand together against the black peril. And of course, it also was transmitted through to the international community that the struggle to free South Africa was not simply a racist one. The same applies in terms of the decolonization of Palestine. And we see this any time one stands up, addresses a meeting, takes action, gets involved in protest demonstration in relation to the struggle of the Palestinian people, that if you're Jewish, it adds a certain extra element. People are greatly inspired and so on. We've experienced this and we've seen this. The question then of bringing together Jewish anti-Zionists from all over the world in such a congress is of historic importance. And it's a project, of course, it's a work in progress. The organizers aren't claiming that they represent the final view and crystallization of what this is about, but it's a step towards the creation of now a political movement of anti-Zionist Jews involved with Palestinian people directly, as was the case with a few whites who were directly involved in the struggle to free South Africa. And that's why I find this coming Congress so compelling, and more especially at a time when the Zionist project, as it was from inception, is reaching its frenetic stage of finding its ultimate solution, and the seeds have always been within Zionism, of the eradication of what they would call the Palestinian question, to eradicate, to remove, to displace, to exterminate the Palestinian people so that they're no longer a problem for a so-called Jewish state, a Zionist state, in all its perfidy, which is why globally the majority of human beings are appalled at the genocide perpetrated by Zionist Israel against the Palestinian people, supported by the USA, supported by Britain, France, Germany, former colonial powers of Europe, and the treachery of Arab states. This Congress will work towards developing the unity of anti-Zionist Jews who are involved in many other movements, including BDS, and BDS is a vital element in the isolation of apartheid Israel. But the question of anti-Zionism is key, and a movement, a political movement against Zionism, anti-Zionism, led by Palestinians and anti-Zionist Jews, is a fantastic step forward. And this is what the Congress is about, and this is why I unequivocally endorse and support it, and call on everybody, not just Jewish people of goodwill, but everybody everywhere, to contribute funds to help make this Congress the success it deserves to be, because the funds are needed to help bring anti-Zionist Jews from all over the world to participate, and others, and to accommodate people, to feed them, to pay for rentals of halls and so on. We need the funds. The funds are the key element now as the organizers move in the last few weeks to convene this historic Congress. So help us to make this a success in the struggle to say no to Zionism, no to Israel, to stop Zionism in its tracks, to say no Pasaran, this fascism shall not pass, the Palestinian people will survive. In fact, their struggle will in the end be victorious, as was the case with the struggle of the people of South Africa, because of international support, because there were whites in South Africa, as there are Jews everywhere, who support the struggle of people against colonialism, against oppression. We're collecting funds here in South Africa. We will be sending Roshan Dadu, the convener actually of the BDS movement in South Africa, to represent us. Her father was the chairperson of the South African Communist Party, Yusuf Dadu. Her mother was very active, and she happened to be Jewish. I'm Ronnie Kasrils, and I've been involved in Palestine solidarity activity all my adult life. I was chief of military intelligence of the ANC's armed wing during the struggle, and following the freedom and democracy that we won in South Africa, I've been a minister in the Mandela government right through the Mbeki government, retired in 2008, and since then devote much of my time to Palestine solidarity.